So we're trying to stay out of the way of the drywallers and then help, the siding guys with whatever they need. Put the front door in, that's looking great. We've got it hidden behind some protection right now because it's precious to us. My precious. This week, we're really focused on getting the house cleaned up, everything finalized. We've got a couple little areas that need to be spray foamed or patched in the floors. We'll get all this swept up and cleaned up and ready for primer next week. The drywall guys probably have like 2 or 3 more visits. We're going around and doing things like all the air vents in the wall. You can kind of still see these ones are in process. We spray all of those vents black inside the vents. Nothing's worse than like sitting down at a kitchen table and like seeing a vent up on the wall and then being able to see into the vent behind it. So that's like one of the little things we'll do this week to make sure like the house is just like a little bit extra complete when it's done. In this room, for instance, I don't fault anybody for this on the drywall team because it was just easier to do it this way, but they just kind of like tucked all the wires up and just kind of like ran with it. So we had to go and chase some wires today. Luckily, we had all the wire locations already spray painted out on the floor from installation previously. Maybe a previous video we talked about that. So we had that for a reference. So Tim and Mike and everybody today were kind of chasing wires early in the morning, which led to some holes being drilled that need to get patched now. Not ideal, but that's construction. You roll with the punches and you do the best you can. So one of the things, I won't blow the air directly into the microphone and be rude like that, but one of the things we do or started doing a while back was investing in like air filtration equipment in the job sites. To the average day civilian, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So like, why would you spend all this money on air filters and things like that while you're building and making all this dust? Well, it's 2 reasons. It's job site quality, how nice it is to work there. It's way nicer to be in here, especially once they start sanding or spraying, to have the negative pressure system. Close all the windows up at night, leave this thing running, and it'll suck. You leave 1 or 2 of these in a house this size, it'll suck and recirculate the air through that HEPA filter several times. If you're like, the whole house will get recirculated several times. And we also get these super long hoses so that we can like take air from one area of the house and completely put it into a different area of the house. And we also have little different pieces of like wooden things with duct on it that we can put the air directly outside. If we're trying to pressurize the house, we can plastic everything off, set up one of these systems. So like if you're painting or something, all the air is getting sucked into that filter rather than like you breathing it through your mask, which weakens your mask or decreases the shelf life, or like you breathing it in as you're walking through the house, or like say the customer comes through or designers or other people are walking through that might not have the mask on. It'll keep the air quality in the house like really, really nice. So overnight we'll leave these running and it'll help circulate the air as well as help like filter the air out. Nothing's worse than at the end of the job you have dust in every crevice of a house. If you can do anything about that to like reduce that, it's well worth the investment. I mean, that piece of equipment up there, maybe costs like $600-700, and then the filters inside of it, like you replace them like every so many weeks. So like that adds up. Like that might be, a couple $100 a year per machine, but it's well worth the money. Holy shit. It's Jen Lawrence, designer extraordinaire. She just realized what was happening and then bailed.